Good day to everyone. Okay, so for this session, we are going to discuss standard cost and operating performance measures. So for this particular lecture, we're going to focus only on the analysis of the standard cost of your labor and your direct materials. Okay, because the discussion of standard cost for factory overhead or manufacturing overhead is going to be a whole new topic, considering that there are various ways to determine variances in relation to evaluating the performance of the company when it comes to using factory overhead or manufacturing overhead. Okay, so let's proceed. So when you talk about standard cost, basically what you're trying to look for is the standard or the benchmark, also known as the normal setup. Okay, in order for us to have a basis of the performance, okay, of a particular company or a particular operations. Okay, so when it comes to standard costing, we always talk about two items. We have the standard quantity, meaning yung standard na i-input natin or ilalagay natin to produce a particular unit of product, and second, it is the standard price or yung standard na presyo kung magkano natin bibilhin yung ating product. Okay, so ganun yung kung magkano natin bibilhin yung raw materials na ipapasok natin or i-input natin dun sa product na ginagawa natin. So basically, there should be a standard or a normal amount or quantity relating to this particular item. So, talking about the standard price and the standard quantity, it simply means na kapag ikaw ay may material or may raw material na ipapasok sa isang product or sa isang finished product, there needs to be a standard quantity kung magkano yung dapat na ilalagay mo doon, okay, to satisfy a certain quality or a certain output na hinahanap natin. At yung raw material na yan, dapat standard din yung pagkakabili mo. Okay, ibig sabihin hindi pwedeng masyadong mura, hindi pwedeng masyadong mahal, kasi it also will sacrifice the product quality later on. Okay, so same is true for labor. Ganun din, dapat may standard or meron tayong specific na benchmark kung gaano katagal dapat pinaprocess yan ng isang labor or ng isang empleyado, at kung magkano yung binabayad natin sa empleyado. Now, the question there is, what is the basis of your standard cost? Saan natin kukunin yan? Okay? So, the reason why it is sometimes technical and difficult to determine the standard cost of a particular item in your production is marami kasing basis yan. So it's a matter of professional judgment for your cost accountants and your managerial accountants as to how to determine yung standard cost natin. Okay, so syempre, dadaan yan sa specific na deliberation, specific na meetings and approvals, kasi hindi naman pwedeng gagawa ka ng standard price or standard cost for your production na hindi dumaan sa research, hindi dumaan sa approvals and other evidences and proof na tama nga yung basis niyan. Kasi take note, yan yung magiging basis mo later on doon sa mga production and business decisions mo. So, yun tayo. So, talking about your standard cost, so yan siya. Kumbaga, pag sinabi nating, just to give an idea, no, pag sinabi nating standard, dun yung sinet natin na levels lang. So, in other words, at a certain production level or at a certain range of production, meron tayong area kung saan dapat hanggang dun lang tayo. Okay, meaning hindi pwedeng lumampas dyan. Okay, at kung bumaba yung production mo, hindi rin naman pwede na magkakaroon din ng deviation. Okay, so ibig sabihin dapat proportional lang. So ngayon, if a certain cost, okay, will exceed a standard, okay, may tinatawag tayo dyan na deviations, okay, or may tinatawag tayo dyan na variances. Okay, so in the process of analyzing yung mga variances na yan, meron tayong tinatawag na management by exception. So this is a practice of management by which they are going to emphasize on the deviation or on the variances and determine the reasons kung bakit merong variance. Okay, so in other words, management will put attention or will give attention doon sa pagkakaiba. Okay, doon sa pagkakaiba or doon sa variance as compared to simply looking at the standard. So yung process na yan, ang tawag dyan ay management by exceptions, okay, or management by exception by using your variance analysis. Okay? So your variance analysis will go through this particular cycle. Okay, magsa-start tayo dito. Ito yung beginning natin. Okay? So of course, gagawa ka ng standard cost performance report. Okay, kasi ito yung pinaka-basis mo kung ano ba talaga nangyari. Next is i-analyze natin yung variance. So titignan natin yung differences ng quantity, differences ng prices na nagastos, ganyan. Next is i-identify natin yung questions. In other words, tatanungin mo sarili mo, or as the manager, you're going to ask your staff, you're going to ask all persons involved, bakit may ganitong variance? Okay? And then we're going to get explanations to determine kung ano nga bang root cause. Okay? Ano ba yung root cause kung bakit may variance? And after that, you're going to take corrective action. Siyempre, ayusin natin yung variance. Okay? So, titignan natin ano ba yung mga remedyo. Mag-a-adjust ba tayo ng standard cost? Magkakaroon ba tayo ng ibang mga adjustments? Okay? Tapos from there, conduct, okay, next period's operation. So, yung corrective actions or yung mga remedies na na-set up mo, yun yung i-apply mo doon sa next na operations mo. Tapos tignan mo ulit yung performance report, iikot na naman yan. So, it's going to be a cycle. In other words, variance analysis is kumbaga, it's a never-ending process kasi lagi namang may room for improvement, lagi namang may room for adjustments, and whatever is going to be the effect of non-controllable factors such as yung mga economic factors, yung mga market factors na hindi naman talaga natin nakokontrol, which generally will involve price adjustments for your standard cost, then yun, i-adjust natin yung mga yan. And all others na ma-identify mo during the yung question part at saka yung explanation part. Okay? So, dun sa pagsiset ng standard cost, ito yung sinasabi natin, di ba? Lahat ng involved na person, particularly cost accountant, managerial accountant, yung involved sa production, such as your production manager, yung purchasing manager, etc. So, lahat ng yung mga involved dyan, they are going to provide or give a data or information as to what would be the standard, what will be the ideal quantity, ideal price, yung price point ng pagbili, ganyan. And this amount will be the i-consider natin as the most efficient or the efficient mix of labor, product, and overhead, okay, in order to produce the quality product that we need. So yun yung i-recommend nilang standard cost. Okay. From there, after mong iset yung standard natin, so just like what we said, no, 'di ba, dalawa lang naman yung aspect that will be involved, yung price at saka yung quantity standard. So yun yung i-set up natin. Magkano ba yung tamang presyo ng pagbili? Magkano yung tamang quantity na ilalagay natin doon sa ating production process? Okay, quantity ng raw materials. So ganun yung i-set up natin sa direct material standards natin. Okay? Doon naman sa ating standards on labor, so ang una mong i-consider dyan or yung mga items na i-consider dyan, number one will be kung magkano yung ipapasweldo or yung rate ng sweldo. Okay, magkano per hour, magkano per unit, magkano per machine hours, kunyari, ganyan. Kasi baka gumagamit siya ng machine hours as basis of the labor. May mga iba't ibang basis naman yan. So yun, magkano sasweldohin ng ating empleyado? If fix ba natin yung labor or is it going to be i-variable natin for every output, which is usually mas effective. So yun siya. At ang tanong na next is yung time or yung gaano ba katagal na i-handle yan ng isang direct labor person natin para ma-produce yung product. Okay? So, for example, if ang standard lang dapat in 5 minutes matapos na yung assembly, or in 5 minutes matapos na yung ginagawa niyang labor process doon sa product. So yun yung tinatawag na standard natin. Okay? So ganun din for your variable manufacturing overhead, similar process, ganun din. Ilalagay mo din kasi 'di ba generally yung variable manufacturing overhead will pertain to indirect materials and indirect labor, which is generally material and labor din naman. So pwede mo rin siyang gawan ng sariling standard rate at saka standard quantity. Kasi variable naman siya. Directly traceable doon sa product. For the fixed portion, syempre, hindi wala ka namang magagawa doon kasi yung fixed manufacturing is already a fixed portion. So may separate tayo na computation noon. Okay? So from there, we are going to go to the next process. Okay? So price and quantity standards pa rin tayo. So ang next mong gagawin dyan will be ito. The price and quantity standards are determined separately for two reasons. Okay? So bakit mo isa-separate? Number one, kasi yung purchasing manager, siya yung bahala sa price, di ba? Tapos, yung gagastos or yung gagamit ng product mo na binili ni purchasing manager is going to be the responsibility of the production manager naman. So, kailangan i-separate mo yon para may check and balance ka both for the purchasing process and for the consumption process. Okay? So, yun yung kailangan nating i-consider dyan. Okay? So, with that, after nating mag-set ng standard, syempre, mag-ooperate na yung company. Upon operating, nag-ooperate na yung company natin, that's the time na pag nakuha mo yung production report, doon ka na gagawa ng variance analysis. I-determine mo doon sa at a certain level of operations, i-determine mo kung tama ba, nasundan ba yung standard, napasobra ba tayo ng gastos dahil sa pagbili, napasobra ba tayo ng lagay ng quantity ng raw materials, etc. Okay, pati yung labor, mas mahal ba yung napasweldo, mas mura ba yung napasweldo, mas matagal bang mas madami bang oras na ginagamit yung direct labor as compared to standards, etc. So yan yung mga considerations natin. So pag sinabi nating variance analysis, since ang sinet natin ay price standard at saka quantity standards, then ganun din. Yung variances natin will be price variances and quantity variances din. So pag sinabi nating price variance, yung pinagkaiba nung standard price mo at saka yung actual price mo. Pag sinabi nating quantity variance, it is the difference between the standard quantity or standard time, standard rate, standard quantity, ganyan. Tapos, ibabangga mo siya dun sa actual quantity, actual time na nagamit, actual labor, actual direct materials, actual indirect materials, ganyan. So, yun yung gagamitin natin dyan. Okay? So, yun no, just like what we are saying, kapag sinabi nating price variance, kung magko-compare tayo sa, or kung i-determine tayo ng variances with regards to materials, ang tawag doon, or direct materials, ang tawag doon, materials price variance. Kapag pagkakaiba ng presyo or nung rate ng direct labor, ang tawag doon, labor rate variance. Pagkakaiba naman nung amount ng variable overhead item, ang tawag doon, variable overhead rate variance. Okay? Pag quantity variance naman ang pinag-uusapan, kung ang pinag-uusapan is yung pagkakaiba ng quantity doon sa na-apply or na input na direct material, ang tawag doon, materials quantity variance. Kapag yung efficiency or yung oras na nagamit ng direct labor, ang tawag doon ay labor efficiency variance. Kasi syempre ang kino-consider natin dyan kung gaano ba ka-efficient yung direct labor sa paggawa ng product, di ba? So kapag matagal siyang mag-produce, hindi siya efficient. Kapag mabilis siyang mag-produce, baka-efficient siya. Okay? Depende doon sa quality. Of course, we are only focusing on the quantitative measures here. And finally, yung variable overhead efficiency variance naman, yung paggamit natin ng variable overhead natin. So, paano natin i-compute yung variances natin? So, basically, this is basically just a guide, no? So, ang lagi lang pinagbabangga dyan will be yung actual versus yung standard. Okay? Actual versus yung standard. So, ganun lang yung item dyan. So, kung mapapansin mo to, medyo nakakalito pa siya. So, kung mapapansin mo dito, para lang maintindihan mo, no? Kapag ang pinagbabangga mo ay price to price variance yun. At kung mapapansin mo, kapag kinukuha mo yung variance or yung price variance natin, this will apply to direct material, direct labor, and variable overhead. Ang nagkakaiba lang is yung dito mo, magkaiba yung price pero yung quantity parehas na actual. So ibig sabihin, this is a common denominator for the computation of your price variance. Ang magkakaiba, kasi ito nga yung pinagbabangga mo, is yung price, which is going to be the difference between the actual price and the standard price. Kapag quantity variance naman tayo, kung mapapansin mo, naka-standard ang presyo kasi ang habol natin dito is to determine yung pagkakaiba naman ng quantity. O, di ba? Kaya yung quantity naman dito ang magkaaway. Okay? So, yun siya. Di ba? So, actual quantity ng direct materials, direct labor, and overhead ang ginagamit kapag price variance. Okay? Tapos, yung standard quantity naman, ginagamit natin yan to determine kung magkano ito yung ibabangga natin doon sa actual quantity na nagamit, particularly kung yan ay direct materials, direct labor, or variable overhead. Okay? So, yun siya. So, madali lang naman i-determine kasi 'di ba parang syempre ang basis natin dito is yung level of activity or yung level of output natin. Okay? So, madali lang naman ang actual price, given naman na yan kung magkano mo talaga nabili, 'di ba? Or magkano yung binayaran mo. Yung standard price, alam mo na yan kasi yan yung naka-set up na magkano yung standard price na kailangan mong ibayad based on the recommendations na provide. So, kung mapapansin mo, kung gusto mo ng shortcut, yan, pwedeng ganyan ang formula mo. To get the price variance, ang gagawin mo, ito kasi, isang formula yan. Ang isa pang formula na pwede mong gawin, actual price minus standard price times the actual quantity. Kasi common denominator ng actual quantity, di ba? Or pwede rin gawin mo yan para, kung gusto mo, para total approach. Yan. Pero kung ang gusto mo is yung per unit approach, edi yung actual price minus standard price times the actual quantity. Mas madali. Tapos kapag yung quantity variance naman ang habol mo, ang gagawin mo lang doon, since parehas nga na price, di ba? The price is standard, then ang gagawin mo, actual quantity minus standard quantity, the result, multiply it by standard price. So, mas madaling i-compute. Okay, so dito naman hindi ka naman malilito kasi ang lagi mo lang naman tatandaan dito, price variance, pinagko-compare ang price. So, alam mo na ang hinahanap mo is the difference in price and then it will be multiplied to the actual quantity. Tapos kapag quantity variance naman, alam mo na ang pinagko-compare is yung quantity or yung pagkaka-apply, di ba? Yung amount ng in-apply. So, was going to be actual quantity minus standard quantity and then multiplied by the standard price kasi nga we are assuming that in a quantity variance tama ang presyo, di ba? Dito naman we are assuming that in a price variance tama ang quantity, mali lang ang presyo, di ba? So ganun yung ginagawa natin diyan. So with that, ano ang mangyayari ngayon diyan? Di ba sinabi natin kapag quantity variance ang pinag-uusapan, ang hahabulin mo or ang pag-i-explainin mo si production manager. Kapag price variance naman ang pinag-uusapan, ang kakausapin mo si purchasing manager. Kasi materials, sa take note, materials ang pinag-uusapan. Paano kapag labor variance? Kapag labor quantity variance, pwedeng kay production mo pa rin ihabol. Kasi 'di ba siya pa rin nagko-control naman ng production process. Pero kapag labor rate variance na yan, yung binabayad natin sa ating empleyado in the form of yung sweldo, then pwedeng si HR, pwedeng si payroll, ganun. Tapos kung variable overhead efficiency variance, ganun pa rin, kay production pa rin kasi siya naman talaga in charge dun sa mismong pagpo-produce. Tapos yung sabihin nating variable overhead rate variance, depende na kung sino ang or sino yung in charge doon sa mga indirect materials and indirect labor. Basta ang consideration mo lang dyan, kung sino yung in charge, siya dapat ang mag-explain. You know, so the standard price is used to compute the quantity variance so that the production manager is not held responsible for the purchasing manager's performance. So kaya nga 'di ba dun sa simula pa lang pinaghihiwalay na natin yung sino yung may responsibility sa presyo, sinong may responsibility sa quantity. Okay? So for the labor, okay? Sinabi na natin kanina yan. Ito yung mga tatanungin mo doon sa production manager. Okay? So una mong tanong doon sa production manager, tama ba na ina-assign mo yung skilled worker doon sa tamang or yung worker doon sa tamang trabaho? Baka naman iba yung skill ng tao, yung isang worker mo, tapos doon mo siya nilalagay sa isang trabaho na wala siyang idea, ganun. So tama ba yung assignment of task doon sa level of skills? Okay? Or naka-align ba? Yun siya. Next is, motivated ba yung empleyado? Okay, kasi ikaw yung manager, dapat trabaho mong i-motivate sila para mas ganahan silang magtrabaho, mas maging maayos yung trabaho. Okay? Quality of production supervision, so talaga bang binabantayan? Baka pa petiks-petiks na yung mga empleyado, hindi wala pang ginagawa si production manager, kaya pala ang bagal magtrabaho, ganyan. Tapos, training ng employees. Baka naman kahit gustong bilisan magtrabaho ng mga empleyado, talagang yung skill level nila hanggang dun lang kasi kulang din pala ng training, hindi na providean ng additional skills and knowledge, di magkakaroon ng problema. So yun yung mga usual na items dyan. Okay? So yun siya. So again, hindi na natin masyadong mag-focus dun sa presyo kasi generally, ang lagi mo lang tatanungin dun sa presyo, bakit dito ka bumili? Ba't hindi ka bumili sa iba? Ganun, di ba? So yun lang naman yung general concern dyan. So what is the advantage of standard cost? First advantage is yung management by exception, di ba? So ang first advantage ng standard cost is because meron kang na-establish na standard cost, you are able to practice management by exception and focus on the variances which helps you better pinpoint kung saan ka dapat mag-improve, di ba? So yun. Second is promotes economy and efficiency. Kasi because of standard cost, magkakaroon ka ng idea kung tama ba yung benchmark mo, kung tama ba yung ginawa mong basis, okay? Or kung kailangan mag-improve, okay? Kung mag-improve, and for every improvement na gagawin mo, it will promote economy, and it will also promote efficiency. Kasi di ba, ina-adjust mo siya depending on what you found out as the root cause of the problem. Next is, it enhances responsibility accounting. Di ba, sinabi natin, if you can still remember, when you talk about responsibility accounting, kung sino yung in charge, siya yung sisisihin. So, if you are going to practice or if you're going to establish standard cost, mas ma-determine natin kung sino dapat ang ipinpoint, kung sino dapat ang tawagin, kung sino dapat ang maging responsible doon sa mga accomplishments and failures ng isang department or ng isang level of operations. And magkakaroon ng simplified bookkeeping kasi may standard cost ka na magiging basis nung easier na pag-recognize ng pagpasok ng material, pag-journalize nung papunta sa work in process, papunta sa finished goods. Tapos later on na lang, saka mo i-adjust yung effect ng variances. So kumbaga, isang entry na rin lang ulit yung variances. Kaysa maghintay ka ng actual cost, tapos later on, mas mahirap yung adjustment mo. So better yung standard cost kasi mas mabilis yung flow ng transactions, mas mabilis yung flow ng information din, and then variances will follow later on. So that's an advantage. Potential problems naman natin, ito, so medyo parang ang dami, no? Okay. So start tayo dito. Emphasizing standards may exclude other important objectives. Kasi baka masyado tayong nag-fix sa standard based on quantity or based on amount only na hindi natin nako-consider yung mga qualitative factors. Baka puro tayo quantitative factors. So yun yung isang consideration dyan. Favorable variances may be misinterpreted. Diba? Sabi nga natin, variance analysis in the point of view of this particular topic, only focuses on the price and the quantity. It does not consider other qualitative information. So pwedeng ang nangyari dahil sa standard cost, ang ginawa lahat ng mga managers, basta makatipid tayo, basta mas mapabilis yung production para mas maganda yung effect niya. Yun naman pala, it will result to sacrificing the overall quality of the product and overall satisfaction of the customer. So, yun yung mga consideration dyan. Next, emphasis on negative may impact moral. Di ba yung dahil nga management by exception, kahit sana overall maganda yung performance mo, dahil may napansin, di ba sabi, meron yung usual na sinasabi, kapag may nagawa kang tama, usually hindi siya napapansin. Pag may nagawa kang mali, yun yung laging na magnify, di ba? So that's going to be a concern later on. Next, continuous improvement may be more important than meeting standards. Okay? Kaya nga, di ba, sinabi natin kanina dun sa process ng variance analysis or yung cycle na yon, the main goal should always be continuous improvement. Hindi lang yung bastang palitan natin yung standard, palitan natin ganyan. Walang kailangan, you need to always have a goal na continuous improvement yung reason kung bakit ka nag-variance analysis and not simply to account for the variances. Kasi kung yun lang ang habol mo, edi wala. Nagbago lang yung financial statement, yes, updated na siya, pero wala naman siyang naging result or naging effect doon sa production mo or doon sa overall performance ng company. Next, invalid assumptions about the relationship between labor cost and output. Okay, ito yung sinasabi natin. Of course, this is in the assumption na you already have an idea of the yung traditional costing and activity-based costing. Minsan kasi, nagkakamali tayo ng assumption na itong particular output na to ay dahil lang sa isang factor. Di ba? May tinatawag tayo na multiple cost drivers, di ba? Or yung multiple reasons kung bakit itong particular cost na to ay nag-accumulate. So yun siya. So baka sinisisi lang natin siya sa isang factor, ang katotohanan naman pala ay madaming dahilan kung bakit ganito yung result. So you need to consider multiple relationships in relation to an output. Hindi lang siya puro labor cost, hindi lang siya puro ganon. Okay? And then standard cost reports may not be timely. Di ba, ang pinaka basis ng iyong variance analysis is yung standard cost report. So kapag wala to, edi wala ka pang i-analyze, di ba? So baka pag in-analyze mo siya, too late na. Okay, so yun yung ibang mga considerations dyan. Okay, so with that, move on tayo dun sa isa pang measurement ng performance. Okay, so ito additional topic lang siya to give emphasis to your performance measures with regards to delivery of a particular product. Okay? So dito natin ina-analyze yung mga processes involved from the time an order is received up to the point na yung goods ay na-ship. Okay? So with this, meron tayong mga iba't ibang cycle time na tinatawag. So yung time na from here, order is received until the time the goods is shipped, ang tawag dyan is delivery cycle time. In other words, gaano katagal na ma-complete natin yung isang sales transaction. Okay? From the sales order papuntang delivery. Okay? So, yun siya. Ang next natin dyan is yung dito muna. Para mas madali, sa taas muna tayo. Yung time from the period the order is received until the time the production is started is known as wait time. In other words, gaano katagal before mag-start yung production ng isang sales order na naganap. Okay? So wait time 'yun. Okay? Tapos yung period from production na magsa-start siya hanggang doon ma-deliver, ang tawag naman doon ay throughput time. Okay? So looking into this, kung mapapansin mo, yung may mga certain items dito sa components natin na kailangan nating bantayan kasi it is going to affect our performance. Okay? So una, yung wait time. Okay? Kasi we also need to understand that in your operations may tinatawag tayong value added at saka non-value added item, or yung tinatawag na value added time and non-value added time. In other words, ano yung nakakadagdag sa quality ng product at ano yung hindi nakakadagdag. So parang ang labas, yung wait time, kapag ba pinaghihintay natin ng matagal yung customer, nakakadagdag ba sa customer satisfaction sa quality ng dinideliver nating product? Syempre wala, di ba? So kailangan ito, bawasan natin yan kasi non-value adding yan, wala yang nadadagdag na quality doon sa product. Actually, kung titignan mo lahat to, and na-emphasize na rin dito, yung process time lang talaga dyan ang value adding. Kasi ang process time, yan yung time na nagagamit mo para makumpleto mo yung product. Okay? So, bakit naging non-value adding tong mga to? Kasi tignan mo to, ang wait time, kahit patagalin mong maghintay, wala namang nadadagdag doon sa product. Or hindi naman nakakatulong para magawa yung product. Yung process time, obviously, kasama yan. Yung inspection time kasi, kahit hindi mo naman sana i-inspect, kung tama yung nandoon na ginawang process during the process time, hindi na kailangang i-inspect. Di ba? Yung move time at saka yung queue time, non-value adding din yan. Kasi, kumbaga, parang wait time din yan. Habang kapag matagal yung move time, kapag matagal yung queue time, tatagal yung pagdi-deliver. Basically, wait time din siya. Kasi, hihintayin mo ulit na matapos yung buong process ng production. Okay? So, although technically, siya ay part ng throughput time, kung layman's terms ang pinag-uusapan, yung inspection time, move time, and queue time, basically wait time pa rin siya. Kasi wala naman siyang nadagdag doon sa processing, pero naka-consume siya ng oras. So, the goal here is to minimize everything or bawasan mo lahat yung mga oras na to, of course, without sacrificing the cost of the product. Okay, so most of the time, ano ang pwede mong gawin dyan? Syempre, bawasan mo agad yung wait time, bilisan mo yung queuing at saka yung move time, tanggalin mo yung mga bottlenecks para mabawasan yung throughput time, gawin mong efficient yung inspection time, yung parang tipong habang ginagawa yung process, may inspection na nang nangyayari. In other words, yung inspection time ay naka-overlap siya doon sa process time. Parang ganon. Okay, para mas mabilis yung production. Okay? So in this case, we are going to have one computation that will talk about your manufacturing cycle efficiency or yung MCE natin. Okay? So talking about gaano ka efficient or kung gaano natin nagagamit yung oras natin doon sa production na nakakatulong doon sa ating delivery, okay, or doon sa quality ng product. So yung manufacturing cycle efficiency is computed as the value added time, na discuss na natin na ang value adding lang is ito, yung process time lang, divided by the manufacturing cycle time. Pag sinabi nating manufacturing cycle time, yan na yung total. Okay, sorry. Yung total na yung total na nagamit nating oras sa manufacturing, known also as your throughput time. Okay, so yun yung manufacturing cycle time. So para malaman mo kung ilang percent ng manufacturing cycle time mo ang value adding. Okay, so ibig sabihin pag mas mataas, mas efficient. Kapag mas mababa, ibig sabihin ang dami mong nasasayang na oras. So parang example, manufacturing cycle efficiency, sabihin natin out of the 100 hours na nandoon siya sa production line natin, 50 hours lang ang nagagamit talaga for production. So basically, you are only 50% efficient. So parang ang labas, ang laki ng nasasayang na oras for non-value added na oras, di ba? So yun siya. So ang goal natin in manufacturing cycle efficiency is to increase the efficiency. In other words, taasan mo yung value added time in relation to its ratio doon sa manufacturing cycle time. So dalawa lang naman ang pwede mong approach dyan. It's either bawasan mo yung inspection time, move time at saka queue time, tapos taasan mo to. Diba? So yun lang naman yung pwede mong gawin dyan. Pero generally, as much as possible, bawasan mo talaga to. Kasi yung process time, malamang yan na talaga yung pinaka-kailangan natin. Okay? So that's basically the end of the discussion ng ating variances. So again, to emphasize, hanggang dun lang tayo sa direct material, direct labor, and variable overhead. Kasi pagdating natin later on ng overhead variances, mas mahaba pa yung discussion yan kasi kasama sa analysis natin yung fixed cost. Kasama yan sa mga variances natin later on. Okay? So that's the end of our discussion. Thank you.